Hi, welcome to the business Shaman Within. My name's Thomas Green, and this video is all about profiting from the power of language. Now, we've all had examples of how powerful language is. You might have watched the King's Speech. You probably almost certainly, that's interesting. We'll come back to the use of language in a minute. Heard of Churchill's speech when he rallied the whole of the UK together. And in each of our past histories, we have individuals, so Nelson Mandela and his speeches, Malcolm X and his speeches. We have these individuals that are able to put together words in such a manner as to motivate and really engage us. Now, often what you'll find is that you have your message that your organisation wants to put forward through to its customers, but very often the vessel that is happening through the employees and the stakeholders in your business just aren't doing it justice. They're not using their language in a most empowering fashion, which means they're not motivated, they're not engaged. It means that they're apathetic. It means that they're just doing what is necessary, maybe not even what has to be done. So by looking at the language that's in use across the whole of your organisation, remember we talked about in the last video about the organisation as a person? What I want you to do right now is I want you to think about that. Think about the conversations that's happening in your body right now. Your body is a collection of 60 to 70 trillion cells. And we really want the white blood cells and the red blood cells to be communicating properly. We want the heart to be talking properly with the kidneys and the liver and the blood system working. The communication level that has to happen in your body for you just to be sat here listening to this video, or even me to be sat here talking, is absolutely incredible. Now, we fall short very often in a corporation, the message and the communication that happens throughout the corporation. Unfortunately, very often the message is diluted and the message is at best not received. So what we have to do is we have to understand why is that? And that's because of the language that's used. Now, in the beginning, we spoke about employee engagement and reducing absenteeism. Now, language is a massive influence on not only engagement, yet it's also on health. If you are having a conversation in your head, oh, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, I'm so stupid. How did I let that happen? Oh, I can't believe I missed that sale. Oh, not another customer. I want to go home. It's 5:30. That will carry with it a frequency, and that will be picked up on by other people around them, the rest of the workforce. That we talked about earlier about the water cooler conference, when people are around the water cooler and they're talking about how crap this is or how crap that is, or the manager's not listening or that sort of thing. So language plays a big part there. And also we can now look at allowing individuals to become really conscious of their language. I don't know whether you've noticed, yet I'm listening to my language as I'm speaking to ensure that I'm not using words like, well, we might try. See, even then, we might try. Not we will try, not that you can try, you either do or you don't, but we might try. Those are called softeners, get outs. What we do is we inbuild into our language things and words and sentences and structures that allow us at a later date to say, well, you know what, I only said I might try, so it doesn't really matter I didn't do it. Opposed to no excuses. No excuses. When I worked for IBM, there was a guy there who called Jim, and his mantra was no excuses. You were unable to show up and say, my cat just got run over, I lost a leg, and I came here as quick as I can on my hands, sorry I missed the meeting, because that's an excuse. It may be true, but it's still an excuse. So all we were able to do was we were able to say, sorry I missed the meeting. There was no excuse. It meant that you were able to be empowered and take ownership of what's going on. So really what we're looking for is both individually with yourself, the person who's watching this video, all of the employees within your organisation, all the stakeholders, but we'll get to that in the video called Stakeholder Theory, and with your corporation, the collection of all the people working in your organisation. What we're looking for is there to be an authentic conversation, for the language to have integrity, so that when individuals are talking to your prospective clients, when they're talking to their internal clients, they're having a conversation that not only empowers both the talker and the receiver, or the two parties communicating. It also means that everybody leaves that interaction with more energy than they went into it with. Now, what that naturally means is the organisation will have more energy left over. And when it has more energy, people want to do more things with people with energy. So you're going to find your clients, your customers, your suppliers, they're climbing over windows, they're rummaging through doors, they're dropping down through the ceiling because they want to do business with you. Why? Because you make them feel good. Maybe you make them feel good or your organisation makes them feel good. And how is that? That's down to the conversation we're having and the language we're using. So, enough from me. You know what to do. Fill out the form below, the webinar form. Make sure you attend. This will be like nothing ever you've experienced. We're going to go into language and help you reflect on the language you use on a daily basis, both at home, in your relationships, with your children, at work, with managers, with subordinates, the whole plethora. And how just a few simple observations of your own language and subtle tweaks will have the difference within your business, like if the computer programmer of your mainframe system put a few little characters wrong or syntax wrong, the whole system would fail. You've obviously used Windows before and had the blue screen of death. We all have, until we switched to Mac, right? However, it's language. The language that operates a Mac is different to the language that operates Windows. And that's why we have such a different experience with Macs than we do with Windows or Microsoft. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and get yourself a Mac. Yet seriously, you really need to understand that language will be the difference. It's the programming language. It's the language that helps set up your organisation for success. So I'm going to see you at that net webinar, aren't I? Take care. This is Thomas Green and the Business Shaman Within. I'll see you soon.